In case you missed it, we had our first big transaction of the NBA offseason. The season is not even a week over yet, and still, Father's Day, we got the first big trade that is Bradley Beal being sent to the Phoenix Suns in a trade with details that kind of look like this in this Shams tweet. And I just wanted to run through a couple winners and losers from the trade. First off, obviously, I think the biggest winner is Bradley Beal. He gets to go from being the lead option on a team that has been pretty down and underachieving for the most part of his tenure there to now probably, honestly, the third option on a Phoenix Suns team with title aspirations. To be the third option, it's probably going to provide Beal a lot better looks. He was already a 40% three-point shooter off a catch and shoot, even in Washington. So with the caliber of player he's going to be playing alongside with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, he's sure to get some better open shots. And I also think between him and Booker, they're going to be able to run the offense better than we would think. Both of those guys have had extended periods of time being the primary playmaker, but specifically for Beal, I think this is going to be a role he's going to be able to excel in as long as he can transition to playing so much alongside those two ball dominant players. Of course, another winner here, you bring in a superstar like that to pair with your other superstars, the Phoenix Suns. They now have a big three that can probably go up against just about anyone on a shot for shot basis, night by night. They did definitely sacrifice a bit, but we'll get to that in a little bit. New owner Matt Ishbia came in, said, we're doing things different now," and he is cleaning house. He made the blockbuster trade for Durant. Now here he is bringing in Bradley Beal, shipping out Chris Paul, and we'll see what happens next. A lot of people are wondering what this all means for DeAndre Ayton, because as it stands right now, the Suns have 4 max contract players on the books and not a lot else. So I don't think they're done with these moves right now. We'll see what happens as they kind of move into the offseason and who they can attract as free agents, because I do think this type of core is going to bring in a lot of players that maybe wouldn't have settled for those cheap contracts to ring chase before. But I think we're going to start to see a lot of it, especially with those top tier teams. And with this move, Phoenix definitely solidifies themselves as one of those top teams. Unfortunately, first loser of the trade has to be the Washington Wizards. They give up one of their franchise leaders in scoring, one of their cornerstones, and don't get a first round pick back. They get multiple second round picks and some pick swaps, but to bring back just that, and Chris Paul and Landry Shamet, Paul who is already probably being rerouted. They've already talked about potential landing spots for CP3. It's just a bad look. It feels like Washington waited too long to do this. It may be a season or two too long. They could have gotten some good picks for this upcoming draft, loaded with talent, and instead they're kind of just left after the fact. Now I'm sure they're happy to clear the books and rid themselves of all of this before it gets even louder, but to only bring back in a handful of seconds, they're going to have to really do a lot around everything that they have now to kind of make this seem like anything less than a panic and a settling and just washing their hands of the situation altogether. Another winner is Devin Booker, specifically Devin Booker as a future fortune teller, because in 2018 he did an interview on Bleacher Report where he said he wanted the super team to come to him, and now that man is teammates with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. So the power of manifesting is real, guys. If nothing else, I don't know what else to say. The power is real. You can definitely manifest those things. This is proof right here. Loser, I talked about it a little bit, but the Suns, their depth chart has taken yet another hit. I think that's probably why Aiton's time is limited. That would be my guess, at least. I think you're going to need to flip Ayton. I saw someone say to the Pacers for like Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, and that helps a little bit, honestly, but that's not even going to solve all of the issues. This was a team that gave up tons of depth, which was one of their biggest assets, to bring in Kevin Durant, and they got exposed in the playoffs. Now they're going to have to try to settle for those vet min, those minimum contract guys, those buyout guys, and they'll be able to entice a few big names for sure. But the question is going to be if they can make that work and if that's going to be enough, or if trading all of these assets for these star players is just not a viable way to build a team anymore. We just watched the Nuggets and the Heat in the NBA Finals, and those guys have traded for some, sure, but most of those rosters are built out with guys that they've drafted and undrafted picks and pickups here and there. So, like, it's going to take a little bit more than just shopping for superstars, I think, moving forward. I think that cohesion is going to be something that's going to become even more valuable as the new CBA kicks in. But I believe the biggest winner of this entire trade has got to be Mark Bartelstein. That is Bradley Beal's agent, who not only negotiated the man a max contract, but got him the only no trade clause in the league. This is probably 100% why he is a Sun and why the Wizards had to settle for this return, because Bradley Beal had final say. He could say yes, he could say no. He had the final say. That no trade clause is worth more probably than the contract money itself in terms of being able to find the right basketball situation. I don't think we'll ever get another no trade clause in a contract again, and Mark Bartelstein is going to have this that he can hold over other agents' heads and that he can use as a point for himself as an agent moving forward. The man pulled a finesse masterclass, and I think all hats off to him at the end of the day. But that's just a quick rundown. Let me know your thoughts on this trade. Obviously, I think the Wizards got a little underserved in returns, but let me know, Wizards fans, if you see this, what you're hoping this means and what comes next for the team. Otherwise, just hit the comments with your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you.